16 years after the completion of one of the most highly rated anime of all time, Fullmetal Alchemist, I think people are still waiting for that next big Arakawa hit. Please, something come across our table that's going to be as amazing as that one. Since then, we had Silver Spoon come out, which was more of a slice of life series. I thought it was okay. It did rate really well. We also had Arslan Senki, which I liked a lot of that one, but in the end of the day, it didn't really kind of pan out to too much. Now we have Daemons of the Shadow Realm, a series that seems to be borrowing a lot more from Fullmetal Alchemist that could be a lot more promising in this regard, although I will have to say, so far it's not really grabbed me too much, and that's really unfortunately due to the fact that it's relying too heavily on things that you get from typical shonens. They'll, destined children that will save or destroy the world. They have this secret power that will change everything, and these two children, everybody wants them. But we'll see. But I've watched the first 3 episodes of the series, and this is my thoughts on it so far. Daemons of the Shadow Realm opens up with, yes, like I joked about before, the destined children being born. Apparently in the past, there's been on this certain night in the East, when twins are born, they're born to be these children that separate the day and night, and they will have these great powers that will essentially cause conflict. 400 years in the past, apparently it happened, and the West and East went to war. And then before then, the North and South went to war. So it's like this element that these two individuals will have a lot of power, and then, unfortunately, people will exploit that power to, again, create destructions and war and whatnot. But anyways, yes, our 2 new twins that are born is Yuru and Asa. And 16 years later, we have them in this little village, and Yuru is going out hunting, trying to help out the village because the village has winter coming up, and they're kind of afraid they're not going to have enough stocks and whatnot. They might have to head down to the lower area of the mountain in order to get work or whatever. Asa is pretty much locked up inside of this one chamber where she's not allowed to leave, and only select people can see her to perform her rituals and whatnot that she's supposed to do. But anyways, Yuru is talking about the idea that he might have to go out hunting more, and Asa's afraid of him leaving because apparently their parents have left before. But he's like, no, I'm going to stay here with you, sister. I'm not going to abandon you like our parents did, yada, yada, yada. Well, out of nowhere, their peaceful life ends because suddenly helicopters appear. Soldiers drop down. They start gunning down everybody. This girl shows up and she starts going gaba gaba gabu, and these teeth appear that starts chomping people in half, and children are crying and blood is everywhere. This chick with this eye patch shows up. She goes up to where Asa currently is and kills Asa before telling Yuru that she's actually Asa. That yes, his sister apparently left the village 10 years ago with their parents, and they replaced his sister to prevent him from running away from the village because they wanted to keep him there, because he's actually really special and that people are after him. Well, as Yuri is trying to process this, and he can't believe it because that can't be my sister, because my sister's this cute one behind the cage. Well, he gets whisked away because the grandmother of this village doesn't want them to get contact with him, where he ends up summoning these 2 daemons that are under his control before they flee down the mountain, before they arrive in what we would call pretty much modern Japan. That's the big twist of this whole story, is that they're in this little secluded village that's got this barrier around it, and the whole time, apparently, Japan is modernized, and skyscrapers and everything. Much to the shock of Yuru, because he doesn't know what vehicles are, he doesn't know what these skyscraper castle things are. It all comes down to pretty much this point where Yuru has to make a decision about what he's going to do in the future. And he's decided at this point, he's going to try to find this Asa chick who's claiming to be his sister, and find out why his parents left 10 years ago, why they leave the village, and why did they attack the village? At the same time, yes, confirming to him that he is apparently one of 2 twins that have this power given to them that can, again, divide night and day, and he can use that power for good or bad, whatever he wants to use it for, if he decides to get it. So my thoughts on the series so far, I am extremely, extremely mixed on this one. On one end, I've always loved Fullmetal Alchemist and that kind of, more modern design, magic, and modern setting type of thing, and this one's nailing that so far. I was honestly very, very shocked. And I'm surprised it didn't get spoiled for me. I was very shocked when suddenly I see these little streaks in the air and they're talking about, oh, those are dragon gas lines or something like that. There's these little streaks in the air and I'm like, no, that's plane. That's a plane up there. Why are they calling it dragon gas or something like that? Sure enough, again, helicopters suddenly show up and they're dropping down soldiers and they're gunning things down. I'm like, oh, okay, this is a secluded hidden village, and we have modern Japan outside. I like that little kind of rug pull they did there. And again, it's kind of opening up the door to having, again, another Fullmetal Alchemist, modern setting type of, fantasy type of story here. Now, that aside, I'm not really like hugely sold on the story so far. I think it's because it's kind of going with the typical shonen tropes of here's the chosen twins, they're going to, save or destroy the world. They have this unstoppable power if they choose to take it, which they're going to take it because it's going to be something that people want to exploit and it could destroy or save the world. Yada, yada, yada. Which isn't a bad thing. It's just they're bringing it up over and over and over and over again. Hey, in case you forgot, they're the chosen ones. Hey, in case you forgot, they're the ones that divide the day and the night. Hey, in case you forgot, they have a lot of this power and they might be able to destroy the world. Hey, in case you forgot, they're the chosen ones. That over and over again. I think it's a good setup so far. It's opening the door for, an interesting story going forward, but we'll have to wait and see. The thing that I'm kind of struggling with so far is that this setup has been around this initial, conflict. And I really feel like it's already painting out that a lot of these characters that we've seen so far, none of them are the bad guy, which I do like that. Don't get me wrong. I like the idea that every character we have presented so far is not the villain. Asa, who shows up and kills the other Asa, isn't the bad guy. Gabby, who comes in there and slaughters a bunch of people, presumably isn't the bad guy. Jin, who shows up and, cleans up afterwards and, kills this stalker guy, isn't a bad guy. Yuru, our main character, this chippery guy who just wants to hunt fowl for his sister, is not a bad guy. Left and right, the Daemons that Yuru summon aren't the bad guy. Dera, who is apparently like a bloodline that's supposed to be protecting Yuru's family, not the bad guy. Nobody is a bad guy so far. It's just I don't know why they're doing what they're doing quite yet. They imply that, yes, a long time ago, at some point, there was a disagreement in this clan, and part of the clan left the village. And presumably that then developed into what eventually Yuru's parents and Asa flee off to and join, just to come back and kill everybody to get Yuru. So I'm presuming here is that potentially this village is trying to get Yuru's power, is trying to get the children of the night and day in order to cause conflict again, and the parents left because they've seen that. And they're trying to divide the two of them because they're preventing potential future war. And now Asa's back to try to get Yuru and run off with him. It's just, again, we're not really seeing that quite yet, and what we're left with instead is, why are we trying to be comedic and happy and go lucky around Asa and Gabby, who literally just came in there and killed a bunch of villagers, slaughtered what presumably are innocent people in front of their children? We're cracking jokes with Gabby after we just seen her munch off this lady's head in front of their daughter and go, don't worry, kid, I don't eat up children. Like, why are we being, comedic with this chick after she just slaughtered a bunch of people? Cut them in half, chomp their bodies apart. It's hard to really kind of follow here. Asa, again, going in there and going, hi, brother, it's me, your sister. I just slaughtered a bunch of people. Let's go have fun together, brother, Oni-chan. It feels off. It's like one of those little sins of storytelling I just don't like. Whenever something does this whole, let's laugh it off and be comedic after we just watch somebody do something horrible, doesn't work for me. Again, I'm presuming eventually we're going to explain that this hidden village is actually really bad and that grandma there is the one that's manipulating everybody and that, again, they were wanting to start conflict, but we're not quite there yet. Outside of that, though, outside of the basic story here, it's okay. Again, I got a decent setup here to sort of give a more, again, modernized, fantasy setting with people utilizing demons. The demon concept is pretty cool so far. I like this idea that they're, called different things, spirits and whatnot. They're individuals, these beings that always come in pairs. That people that summon them, they will always come in pairs. Like for Yuru, he summons the two deities that have been protecting the village itself, which is, he calls them right and left. So right and left is basically these two demons that he controls. They're pretty badass so far. I really like them. I think their personality are great. I like the fact that they like Yuru so much because he's hands off. He's like a cool dude, so they want to help him out. He never demands anything of them. He just kind of requests things for them. Hey, can you help out the villagers? I'll handle this situation. Oh yeah, sure. He wants us to do things ourselves. I like that. I like hands-off kind of guy. They seem really cool so far, really laid back and whatnot. I'm assuming Dera has a pair as well. They mentioned that they're Daemon retainers or something like that, or users or whatever, but I'm assuming he has one. We've seen Gabby's, which is these two separate jaws, and they come together to make a mouth, and apparently they chomp through everything, including seemingly, they've stated before that they've killed their own owners, so it kind of shows that they're very unstable. They've seen Jin for a brief moment. It's like this massive fish that like lures people into its mouth before it chomps them. And then there's like a little itty bitty one that comes with it, apparently. I don't know what the little one does. Probably gonna be more terrifying than even the big one. That's pretty much all the ones that we've shown so far. They show one like running alongside them at some point, which again was seen as a deity. So they're interesting little elements. It does imply there is other magics in this world. Specifically, Asa is claimed to have like one of the most powerful abilities, which is called Break. And that basically breaks anything, barrier, opens anything, so to speak. Whereas I'm guessing they're implying that Yuru possibly has the other. There is an opposite to it, which is equally as powerful, which is Seal. And it seems like they're implying that Yuru might have it. And that ability can pretty much close anything. So close a barrier or whatever. And the scare here is that what if these two things come together? Again, I'm kind of assuming that's a whole night and day. The two that cause conflict is, again, opening and closing. And that presumably Yuru is going to have this ability to seal anything. And again, that's going to go in conflict with Asa. But at the end of the day, I really do feel like they're kind of setting it up that they're not going to be in conflict for very long. It does imply to me that eventually Yuru and Asa will be allies. Again, I just hope that eventually they kind of explain that well and that they would get to it already. We're like 3 episodes in at this point and I don't have an explanation as to, am I supposed to like Asa? Again, because all I have so far to reference Asa, Gabby, Jin, this whole other clan is that they just murdered an entire village of people. And I'm supposed to assume that they're probably a bad village because the parents left. Yuru apparently really badly wants to go meet with Asa to get those answers. It's just, I wish we had those answers now. Again, is Gabby bad for chomping up a bunch of people? And am I going to be able to laugh it off? Is the village itself not actually dead? Is everybody still alive? And this is all a big illusion. That could be as well. It could be this entire village is an illusion. I don't know why they would go through the trouble of killing illusions or whatever. And again, Dara seemed to be doing very well and taking them all as well. Dara and Hana so far are pretty good characters. Again, Dara seems to be from a bloodline that is taking care of Yuru about his safety and whatnot, and now has pretty much fled the village with him. Again, another indication that Dara seemingly knows that the village is okay. Yuru, our main character, he's okay. He's a do-gooder. I haven't really gotten too much of his personality yet, other than just a do-gooder. Honestly, I'm more interested in his sister Asa, which is easy to say because he's more of the darker side of things. She's seen some stuff. She knows the darker secrets of what's going on, and she's seemingly trying to undo it, or at least prevent it from happening. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much my thoughts on the series so far. I'm looking forward to more. I'm a little bit unfortunate that it's taken 3 episodes and I've yet to get like a hook. And I think I was pretty much hooked into Fullmetal Alchemist pretty quickly. Like from that first twist, I'm like, oh damn, this is crazy. I can't wait to see more of this. With Demons of the Shadow Realm, it's like, okay, cool, there was helicopters, and Asa's not really his sister. Okay. Anyways, so what's next? Hopefully we'll get to that hook eventually. I think the hook's going to be in, like, again, whatever is driving Asa and her crew, that whole clan. I think that's probably a more interesting thing about this whole story. But anyways, that's my thoughts on the series so far. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, hit the like button down below. If you like this content, want to support channel more, come over. Until next time, y'all take care.